start in Shavasana. Starting in Shavasana is a great way to start your practice. Take it full circle. So hold on, let me set my timer. There we go. So I have these really great, beautiful big bolsters. I know that Tyrone has some too at the gym. You're welcome to borrow them from him if you'd like. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you invest in one because they are a dream. So if you have anything like this, grab it. I see Sandy's grabbing hers. There you go, Sandy. And I know you probably don't have one, Sujata, but you have another option too. If you have like a meditation cushion or even several couch cushions that you can pile up on top of each other, that will work. But we're gonna take our big piles of cushions or our big meditation cushion. We're gonna line it up with our lower back when we sit down, and we're just gonna lean back, relax, so that you wanna feel you're supported in your shoulders. This creates a kind of supported back opener here. So we're gonna start our practice today in this place. This is where we're gonna do our grounding. So you can relax your arms on either side, relax your head on your bolster. It's a little bit different than using the block because then your head is kind of tilted back in like a fish pose. So this is a little bit more supportive. And then you can also relax your legs. Let's not close the eyes, but keep a gentle gaze. Relax the shoulders and just start to notice the breath coming from your rib cage. Start to notice the inflation and the kind of compression or deflation of the rib cage, belly, and chest. And see if you can find that place where you can settle. Connect with each breath that you take. And just kind of soften into all the parts of your body that might be calling for your attention right now. Practicing yoga first thing in the morning before we do anything else is really a gift that we give to ourselves. So just take a moment here to relish in your gift. Surrender any thoughts that are not conducive to this practice right now. If they're important, they will come back to you after practice, so we can just let them go for the time being. And if they're not that important, they'll just be surrendered to the universe, so you can let them go regardless. And feel the earth underneath your body, supporting your body weight. And again, try not to close your eyes because I don't want you to feel rested here. I just want you to feel grounded. And letting go of all things that maybe aren't conducive to our greatest awakening or our highest good. And do a few more breaths here. And finally, as we exhale, let's start to move the legs closer together. So bringing the feet closer together. And then let's inhale. Let's take the left arm, hand towards the shoulder. And we're going to move that shoulder so that the elbow points down and the shoulder kind of moves forward. And just notice how that moves the space in your shoulder girdle here. And then do the same thing with the elbow pointing up, and then the shoulder kind of pulls back. Just kind of go back and forth here, noticing that left shoulder, how it moves. And then let's engage the right side. Do the same thing with the right side. Elbow down, shoulder, notice that the shoulder moves forward, and then elbow up, shoulder kind of moves back, and then again back and forth. Just a couple times. In our Ashtanga practice, we do a lot of chaturangas, and so it's really important for us to kind of take a day to really kind of feel what the muscles are doing when we're working so hard. And then let's add both shoulders, moving the elbows up, maybe a little bit back if that's accessible, and then back down, elbows towards the ground, shoulders pull forward, and you feel the shoulder blades kind of pull in towards each other when you move the shoulders forward. And then when you move them up, you feel the shoulder blades pulling away from each other. So the rhomboids back there are working. We'll do a couple more times here. Keep your legs together, a little bit engaged, so you're pressing through your toes a little bit. All right, and then for this next one, go all the way to the top, and then see if you can release one arm, and then release the other. Now, they may not rest on your bolster, or on anything really. They may just kind of hang in midair. So this is a little bit of a stretch. So if you don't feel warm enough still, then just repeat the moving up and down of the elbows with the hands on the shoulders again. If you feel like your shoulders are warm enough, then try to just let them hang behind you. Try to keep your butt down on the floor, your tailbone pressed against your bolster or your pillows. And your arms are about parallel to each other, not out to the sides. Not yet anyway. Lengthen through the fingertips, let the arms just rest back. Feel a nice stretch there. And then inhale, slowly bend the elbows, release the arms down by your sides again, and then just take awareness here of your shoulders. See how they feel. How the front of the shoulder feels, the deltoid muscle inside, maybe a little bit into the traps. And then go ahead and inhale, bring the fingertips back to the elbows, lift, or to the shoulders, lift the elbows up, lengthen here, and then release one arm. This time open it out to the side, release the other arm. Now, if you need to make them a little wider, you certainly can. This is gonna feel more of a deeper stretch through the chest. So take a moment here. Maybe the hands can rest on the floor if that's accessible for you. If you want to feel a little bit more in between the two, you can take the hands a little higher. But just be gentle, don't rush, don't force. Surrender to what is. Whatever limits you're finding yourself in, whatever limitations your body's giving you here, don't fight them. Easy inhale, slow, gentle exhale. A little bit more opening through the front of the body, even within the back bend. And then exhale, let's release the arms down, relax the hands to the floor. Go ahead and bend your knees. We're gonna lift the head, pressing into the bolster with your back. So lift the head, bring your hands to your thighs or to your legs, and then slowly kind of roll yourself up. Take it nice and slow. Don't come up all the way. Just roll yourself up enough until you start to feel a stretch into your lower back. Keep holding on to your legs to help support you. Draw in through belly. And then continue, continue, continue until you come all the way off of your bolster, and then you can bring your forehead to your knees. Let the shoulders pull down away from the ears. Hug yourself tightly here. And then inhale, slowly lift the chest. Let the shoulders roll back. Settle yourself down into your sit bones. And slowly release. Okay, so we're gonna move this out of the way for a moment. Come onto hands and knees. And separate your knees about hip width. Separate your hands about shoulder width. Inhale, lift the chest. Shoulders roll back, look up. Exhale, curl it under. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, curl it under. Let's do a couple more like that. So these cat and cows help us to awaken our spine. They help us to start moving into the little spaces in our tailbone and in our shoulder blades and in the middle and upper spine. So we can feel a full extended stretch. We're gonna come back to a flat back. Okay. So we're going to work a little bit here today on how to plank, and I'm actually going to turn this way because it's easier for me to demonstrate on this side. So what we're going to do is press into the hands and then sink the shoulders, so that kind of like a cow, how they sink, the shoulders roll back. So this is what we're going to start off with. Now notice when you do this, when you sink like this, Where do you feel the pressure, right? For me, I feel it kind of up here, like my arms are supporting me, almost like it's hanging in my skin. So let your rhomboids kind of relax. So there's nothing's being engaged here. You're just sinking into the space. And now we're going to start to engage the muscles around the top or the back of the higher part of the back. So we're going to start to push the floor and press away and really create roundness. So up here, this is where you want the roundness. You're going to separate your shoulder blades away from each other. Round, round, round. So if I show you from the front, right? We're sinking here. Everything's sunken. And now we're pressing away. You can tuck your chin under. You can tuck your head under. And notice those shoulder blades separate. And you start to engage into your latissimus dorsi, the side muscles there. And you're pushing and you're extending. Your belly's starting to draw in. And then go ahead and release. Good. So when we do that, we're engaging all those muscles up here, and those are the muscles that we need for our chaturanga. So let's do that again. Press into the shoulders, fan out. Now this time, let's start to engage into the center, into the belly. So we draw in through the belly, kind of think about rib cage hugging your body, squeezing in. Fan out, keep the elbows straight. Keep engaging through the belly. Maybe tuck the tailbone under slightly. Maybe draw in through your mula bandha, through your pelvic floor. Keep the chin tucked in, everything engaged, shoulders rolling up and away from each other, back. And then exhale, release. So when we do that, we should be working. You should feel like you're working. Let's do it one more time. Inhaling. And then exhale, curl it in. Engage all of it. Shoulders, rib cage, abdomen, pelvic floor, arms, fingers. Push the floor away, really round through the spine. And inhale, let's release. Press up through the tailbone, lift up through the chin. Just kind of reverse that for a moment. Maybe sway around through the hips a little bit, the shoulders, looking up if that feels okay for you. All right. So now when we do that, we're going to try to extend one leg and then the other, and we're going to hold. So if you don't have room behind you, just come forward on your mat. All right, here we go. So just like we did before, fanning out through those shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades apart, pulling them away from each other. Bring a little bit of weight forward towards your hands. Tuck your tailbone under. Wrap your rib cage around your body. So your rib cage pulls in, squeeze, just like a garter belt, right? We squeeze through the body. Strong fingers, tuck chin under, look towards your belly button. Straighten one leg. Keep the body straight. Straighten the other leg. Find your plank. Keep pushing into the shoulders. Now instead of looking down towards your belly, look towards your thumbs. But keep the shoulders engaged. Keep everything strong. Don't give up. Hold there. 1, 2. Keep pushing. 3, 4, and 5. Bring the knees down. This time, let's sit back to Balasana. Rest here for a breath or two. So what we want to try to accomplish when we do those kinds of drills in our practice is we create a sense of awareness of which muscles we're using in order to come into our Chaturanga Dandasana. So now when we do it again in a moment, we're going to try to bend the elbows and hug them in towards the body. So Chaturanga arms, when you bend your elbows, they don't pull away to the sides, but they pull back so that you can fold forward. And so the inside of the elbow is kind of pointing forward, so when you pull back, the elbow just goes right back. Also, don't use your body to prop yourself onto your elbows. Keep your elbows kind of right on the outside of your body. So let's try it again. Set it up the same way we just did, right? Nice and strong. Protract your shoulders, roll weight forward, hug the rib cage into the body, draw in through the pelvic floor, tilt the pelvis down just slightly. Maybe start with a tucked in head until you can get yourself settled. And then try straightening one leg, straightening the other leg. Try not to let your hips lift up. Keep your hips down, shoulder blades engaged. And now with the exhale, let's come forward slightly and start to bend through the elbows. Now the placement of the shoulders is going to change as we lower down. So let it change, slow and steady. Lower down, come all the way to the floor. I know, I'm working hard. All right, so from here, once you're on the floor, let's just do an easy cobra. Easy cobra, lift the chest, open the heart. Keep the hands down on the floor, keep the fingers pressing easily into the mat, elbows pull back, chest lifts. Just an easy lift, don't have to work too hard. Try to relax your glutes, press the tops of your feet into the floor, and exhale, lower down. Breathe easy. We're gonna do a couple of movements up and down, reversing all of the work we've just done here, working the opposite way. So let your fingertips slide out just slightly away off of your mat, on the fingertips or on the floor. And then inhale, lift the chest, maybe press into the arms a little bit to get a little deeper back bend. Open the heart, shoulders back, just look forward. And then exhale, lower down. And then maybe walk the fingertips a little further away. And then again, inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Fingertips move a little bit further away. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Last time, move the fingertips a little bit further away. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Good. Bring the hands down by your sides. Press into your knees. And come back to your child's pose. Rest here for a breath or two. Easy inhale, slow, gentle exhale. So if you found that chaturanga really difficult, that lowering down from plank, remember your options are to lower your knees first. It makes the weight a little less, it makes you less heavy because now you're splitting your weight half your body. And your other option would be, like we did, to come all the way to the floor instead of hovering off the floor and just come all the way down. So those are options you can take in class anytime. All right, so working a little bit more into the shoulders, and then we're gonna move into the hips. Take your pillow, you just need one, you don't need the great big one, just one big pillow, and place it so that you can bring your chest to it. Keep your knees right over, underneath your hips, then walk your chest towards your pillow. I need to adjust. So your chest is on your pillow, arms are extended forward, and your chin is on the top of your pillow so that your head feels supported. Try to relax into your shoulders as they pull back. Lengthen up through the pelvis, through the tailbone. Draw in through the belly. And let's just rest here for a few breaths. Trying to keep your arms straight. But the elbows can be touching or resting on the mat. Just try to press into the palms of the hands and lengthen through the arms. Reach up to the table. If you feel like your feet are sliding out away from you, you're welcome to walk them in a little bit and see if you can go a little deeper into the posture. If this bothers your neck at all, you're welcome to tuck your head under or bring your forehead to the floor. So that's options that you can take here. Just hold another 2 or 3 breaths. And slowly inhale, lift the head, lift up through the arms, walk the hands in, sit back, and let's go ahead and remove the bolster. All right, taking the right arm in front, pulling that right shoulder down and away, look over to the right side. So just kind of pull the right shoulder away from the ear and look over right. And then exhale, release, and let's do the other side. Left shoulder, pull it over and across, lower the left shoulder down, and look to the left. Just an easy stretch there. It's really important for us to catch up with our joints in our bodies. So our shoulders and our hips get a lot of work, not just in yoga, but in life in general. So it's good to give them a little hour, a little attention to them. And slowly release. Good. Right arm up and over. You can just let your right hand rest down in between your shoulder blades, and then take your left hand to the right elbow.
pull up and back. If that feels okay and you don't need this hand, this left hand to pull back, maybe you can reach around and bind your fingertips, or you can use a strap or an extra towel. Once you have your fingertips, just lengthen through spine, gaze forward, and feel a nice stretch now, not only in your right tricep, but in the front of your left shoulder and your deltoid. Keep the belly drawn in, keep the spine nice and long and engaged, not leaning back, not arching, and certainly not leaning forward. Try to keep the chin up so you're not tucking under, but nice and tall. Head in alignment with the spine. And then exhale, let's release. Release left arm, release right hand. Little shoulder roll before we do the other side. Left arm up, extend it, bend through the elbow. Just bring that left hand to the space between the shoulder blades. When we first do this, it's okay to tuck the chin under so you have room. Take right elbow, pull it back with the help of the right, left elbow, pull it back with the help of the right hand. And then if you don't need to have that hand up there, reach right hand around. See if you can find your bind, connect with your fingers. Once you have connection, lift your chin and let your body do the stretching. Deep inhale, slow, gentle exhale. Now you're stretching through your left tricep and into the front of your right shoulder. Easy breathing. Good. And exhale, slowly release one hand, release the other. Little shoulder roll here. Okay, so we're gonna leave the shoulders alone for a little bit and we're gonna move into our hips. So go ahead and come to your kneeling position. We're gonna take right leg forward, keeping the left knee back, and then just kind of stack left hip onto the left knee. A lot of times we push forward, we're gonna get there, but for now we're just gonna stack that left knee onto the left hip onto the left knee, and just kind of feel yourself balanced and settled here. And inhale, draw the arms up, lengthen up through the fingertips, pull the shoulders back and down, draw in through navel. Then exhale, let's take the left hand down towards the left thigh and see if you can stretch the right side body. And again, not pressing forward, and the hips don't need to come down just yet, and the fingertips don't need to touch the floor. We're just reaching up and over. And slowly release back to center. Both arms come up. Keep your drishti, your focus straight ahead, and then we'll do the other side. Right arm comes down, and left arm reaches up and over. If you feel like you need extra cushion underneath your left knee, you can put a blanket there or a rolled up towel. Just make sure that you feel grounded into your right foot. Take that left arm up and over, find your side stretch. And inhale, come back to center, both arms up. Exhale, bringing hands down to the floor. Okay, straighten through the right leg for a moment here. It doesn't have to go all the way straight. Just start to move forward and back. We're gonna start to move into the hip a little bit. So forward and back. Each time you come forward, see if you can walk your foot a little bit forward more. So back, maybe walk forward a little bit more. Also, if your hands don't touch the floor comfortably, you can place blocks underneath your hands. So now we're starting to feel that openness happening here in that left hip flexor. Let's do a couple more. Inhale as you straighten leg. Exhale as you move forward. Inhale and bringing the hips back. Keep the toes down. See if maybe you can straighten that leg fully. Exhale as you come forward. I'm going to start to hold these a little bit more than before. Not just moving forward and back, but holding a little bit. Inhale, lengthen back and see if you can hold. Draw in through belly, square off your hips. Move your hips back. Point through your right toe. Stretch through the back of that right leg. And exhale, take it forward. Maybe walk that toe forward a little bit more. Pushing that left hip down and forward. Bending into that right knee. Lengthening, stretching through the spine. Your fingertips might be able to come forward a little bit more next to your toes or next to your right foot. Hold and breathe. And then exhale back once more. Lengthen, stretch. Maybe this time, if you feel good, you can actually fold your upper body towards your right leg. Doesn't have to go all the way down, just a little bit of a fold works. Try to keep that right toe on the floor. It does like to pop up. Keep the hips square, draw in through belly, soften through the shoulders. Maybe your palms can come down so your fingers can rest. And then slowly come to center. Okay, so for this next one, if you feel like you do need some cushioning underneath the left knee, be mindful of that. You're gonna try to bring that left foot up. So just bringing the left foot up is enough. That may be enough for you. If you feel like you can go a little further, just bring your fingertips of the right hand to the inside of your right foot, and with your left hand, reach around to find your foot. So you might need to kind of lean forward. If you start to feel like there's cramping or anything going on back in the back of your thigh, take a moment, stretch it out, and then come back to that place. So just be very mindful, because these are movements that, you know, take a little bit of thinking to get into them. So when you're ready, bend into it, grab that foot, and then you can come to rest onto your right knee with your right hand. So once you have the foot, your goal is to try to draw that foot in towards your left glute as much as possible, keeping your balance. So you want to keep your drishti, your focus, lengthen that left side and right side rib cage up, pressing hip forward and down. And this shouldn't bother your knee too much. You're kind of on the front top part of your knee. But if it does, go ahead and place something underneath. Let's hold one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now stay here and just release. Not all the way, just release the foot a little bit and then draw it in towards the body. So we're just opening and closing that foot. Opening and closing that foot. Yeah, Suma, grab something to put under that knee, because I know that those knees bother you a little bit. Just opening and closing the foot. And if you want, you can also bring your hand to your thigh. See how that works. And then again, one more time, let's draw it in as close as we can. Try to bring the heel to your butt. Feel that stretch to the front of your left thigh, into your hip flexor, into your psoas. Yeah, Sandy, I know, stretch it out. If you're getting cramps, no worries, I see you. I know how it is. If you start to feel any kind of cramping, you want to release and you want to stretch out that leg, kind of move around a little bit, and then get back into it. Yeah, no worries. Good, good. Sudakar's like, I could do this all day. Looks good. And then exhale, let's release the foot. Bring the hands back to the floor. Let's bring the right knee back. Open the knees wide and take a moment to sit back into your balasana, forehead to the floor. This is the part where we start to acknowledge the differences that we feel from the side that we worked and the side that we haven't worked yet. And I think this is one of the most important parts of our practice, where we get to really be scientists and explore our bodies. Because if you're feeling something positive, neutral, or negative, you really get to notice it here in the space in between the sides. So just take a moment to breathe and surrender to whatever it is, sensations that are happening with your body today. And you can work on your Ujjayi breath. And next exhale breath. Slowly lift the head. Come back to kneeling. Tabletop. This time we take the left foot in front. Stack up the hips and come to a lifted position. So we don't start with the hips forward. Remember, we're going to go for the side bends first. So keep the hips stacked. Keep yourself balanced. Let's start with the right arm. So right arm extends up. Find length in the right side body. And then let's just lower it down so that fingers are down by your right arm. Left arm extends up. And then go ahead and lean to the right. Just reaching down to the fingertips. Feel the stretch happening into your left side rib cage. Keep your left foot grounded and rooted. Just take it up and over. Nice length through that left side body. Tina hears a dog out there, huh? And then inhale, slowly come to center. Let's bring both arms up. Find length here. Remember, support that right knee if you need it. And then left arm down. Take it up and over. Find the right side body stretch now here. And reaching the left fingertips down towards the floor. Keeping the chin in line with the upper body. Stretch to that right side. Compressing and contracting through the left side waist. And then inhale back to center, both arms up. Let's find length here through the fingertips, shoulders back. Keep the core engaged, belly drawn in, chin forward, lengthening. And then exhale, gently bringing fingertips down to the floor. Okay, so let's start with just a gentle movement, forward and back. And we keep it gentle in the beginning because we're starting to kind of like, first of all, we already worked that left hip flexor. So it's already been asked to do a whole lot for us. And one of the keys to a successful and long yoga practice is to be kind to your body. As soon as you start to push yourself past certain points, it's not going to be too good. So then let's start to walk that foot forward a little bit as we come forward. And then see if you can extend a little straighter. Walk the foot forward, come forward. Extend a little straighter. Yeah, just kind of continue to move back and forth now that the foot is forward a little bit more. Maybe it takes you a little longer to get to the front. Maybe it takes you a little longer to get to the full back. Toe point to the toe down towards the floor. And then we're going to start to hold. So let's go back and hold there. So again, lengthening through that left leg the best you can. If you can't straighten the knee, it's okay. If there's a little bend here, it's okay. If you need the blocks, place the blocks where you can have your palms down. Try to make that left leg as straight as possible and then try to rotate the right hip forward so that pulls your left hip back. Keep drawing in through navel, lengthening through spine. Fingertips are fine too, or block. Just keep your hands on the floor. The right leg isn't kind of doing too much right now. We're just stretching to the left leg for the moment. Breathing into the stretch. And then inhale, let's take it forward. This time hold the forward. So moving into this forward one, maybe you can slide the hands a little closer to your left foot. Start to feel this into your right hip flexor, top of your right thigh. Sometimes we feel this more in the left leg than we do the right. And because we've already worked that left leg, it's easier to have all of our awareness on this left side body. So if you don't feel it too much on the right just yet, that's okay. Let's do one more time, stay extending back and holding. This time, if you wish, you can try and maybe folding over your left leg. Maybe planting your hands on the floor, reaching and extending, maybe forehead to knee. Again, working with kindness, with humility, with ease. It's not about forcing your body to fit any certain shape, just about feeling your way through. And then inhale, lift the head, walk forward, forward, forward. See how far forward you can go. Maybe rest the hands on either sides of that left foot, close to the toes. Find yourself kind of pressing forward and down with your hips. And we're going to try for that stretch with the quadricep. So taking left hand to the inside, you can come to your fingertips and go ahead and bend through your back leg. So already that might be enough. You might feel like, okay, this is good. I'm going to stay right here with that toe bent. If you start to cramp, remember, straighten the leg, stretch out that hamstring muscle, and when you're ready, come back down. If you feel like you're ready to go a little deeper into this movement, just go ahead and take that right hand around, find your foot. Once you find your foot, you can kind of use balance to bring left hand to your left knee to your left knee, left elbow to your left knee. There we go, I got it. And then start to pull that foot in towards the body. Keeping the hips forward and down, and lengthening up through the rib cage, Just keep drawing that foot in towards the glute. One day we want it to touch, but it's okay. Wherever it is, it's good. Let the breath move through any difficulty. Remember, if you start to cramp, we want to soften so that the muscle can relax. Really, all the cramping, all it is, it's our cue that we're going a little bit too far. It's our cue. I can't look that way. I would get out of balance. It's our cue that we are pulling too hard or that we're trying too hard. So cramping, take that as a cue to back off. And then let's go ahead and start to open and close through that right leg. Open and close. You can, again, also, if you like, keep the left hand on the thigh. Maybe that's a little easier. Open and close. Be gentle. If this bothers your knee, support it with something underneath the knee. And then go ahead and close and hold one more time. And we're finding a drishti, a point of focus. Those are kind of the three things we want to focus whenever we do asana. One is our physical form, our body, where we put it, how we put it, where we, line up our feet and hands. Two is our breath, our pranayama, right? Our vinyasa moves with the inhale and the exhale. And then our third one is our drishti, our focus. It's hard to keep yourself centered and balanced if your eyes are all over the place looking around. So keep your eyes, your gaze in one particular spot. And then exhale, let's release that leg. Extend through that left leg, come back to center, and go ahead and take that left foot back and sit back into balasana once more to reassess how your body is doing now. Forehead to the floor, let it all relax, hang, surrender. Okay, we're going to do a second version of that, but we're going to do it in pigeon pose. Before we do that, let's do Paschimottanasana. So come to hands and knees, press up to your downward facing dog, pedal out your legs. Bend one knee, straighten one knee, sway at the hips, move the weight forward and back, side to side, whatever feels good for you here. Pressing the heels down, maybe lifting up through the toes, lengthening through your whole body. Keep drawing in through your navel, let your head hang. And then slowly let's look forward, just like we do in our Ashtanga flow. Let's go ahead and come forward so that the feet are on the floor, but you're pushing the floor away with your arms. Stay here for a breath or two, and then continue the trajectory, sliding one foot through, sliding the other foot through, stay lifted through the butt, and slowly lower down. Good. Dandasana position, hands on other sides, lift the chest, flex the feet, look down towards the bridge of your nose. Hold and breathe. Shoulders pull back and down away from the body, and the top of the head reaches up towards sky. And then exhale, pull forward, grab onto your big toes, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold again. So this should feel pretty good. This is an even stretch through the backs of the legs. Let your body come down. Let the breath be steady, flowing smoothly and gently. Pressing the soles of the feet away so you draw the toes towards your face. And inhale, lift the head, lengthen spine, and we're going to see if we can get a tighter grip. So if this is as far as you can go, that's fine. Then just repeat that. If you can go a little tighter, see if you can bring your hands around your feet and maybe interlace your hands. Lengthen again through the spine, and then exhale, fold once more. See if you can draw that stretch, not only through the backs of your hamstrings and glutes, but into the tailbone, into your lower back, even into your middle and upper spine, the space between the shoulders as you pull with your arm. And then inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, slowly release. Okay, so now we're going to try for the pigeon one. So go ahead and cross your feet, tuck them underneath your body. Place your hands in front. The best way for you to know that you need to come forward is you're going to move your weight, transfer it from your butt to your hands. And your feet can stay on the floor as you lift up your butt. So you're engaging into your arms, into your fingers, strong core. And then you're gonna step one foot back, other foot back, and come back into that high plank we found in the beginning of our practice. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. You can come all the way to the floor. Inhale, press up to cobra or into upward facing. Hold your upward facing dog for a moment. Make sure your feet are about shoulder or hip width apart. Shoulders pull back, lift your chest, look up. Maybe just a little softness into the glutes, into the legs. Draw in through the pelvic floor and draw in through the belly. Exhale, curl the toes under. Come to your downward facing. Let the breath move here, settle in. And slowly come to kneeling. Okay, so I always need to modify my pigeon just because of some injuries I had. So if you need to modify your pigeon, you can use a block or you can use a bolster. We're gonna start with the right side. So we're gonna bring the block or bolster underneath that right hip and take the right knee forward. Most of the time I ask you guys to bring that right foot up so that it's parallel to the top of your mat. Today I'm just gonna say, bring that foot down. It's okay to bring that foot down. Just see if you can square off your hips. If your right hip on this side, if it touches the floor, then you don't need any extra help. You don't need the bolster, you don't need your blocks. So the first part is just getting yourself settled, situated, that left leg down. And you're gonna bring your fingertips to the floor, maybe one hand on the outside, one hand on the inside of your right knee. Rotate that left hip forward, and we're just gonna find lift here. Not gonna come forward. So finding lift means drawing in through the lower abdomen, lifting up the rib cage and pulling back through the shoulders. So try not to sink. Everything up. Good. And then just like before, we're gonna try to move that left leg. I know. Do the best we can. So let's take the right hand to the inside of that right knee. You can bring the palm down. You can stay on your fist, or you can come to your fingertips. Whatever you feel is right for you today. Bend that left leg, reach around, grab the foot. So sometimes if that left knee isn't back enough, it'll feel annoying and kind of bothersome on top of the knee. So if you pull back the left knee, it'll feel better. So from here, just again, start moving forward and out with that left foot. So what we're trying to do is not only create flexibility and movement into the hip, the left hip flexor, there's that psoas muscle that runs there, but also into the quad. This is the front part of that left leg. And then again, just as before, if you cramp up, you want to release and you want to stretch out. Good. Good. Now, once you kind of move forward and back, let's pull it in. Maybe wrap the wrist around the foot, or maybe the forearm. Try to get that whole foot, draw it in towards your body. And then we're going to rotate the chest and look forward. So you can keep your right hand on the floor just as it is. You can bring your palm down as you lean forward a little bit. And try to bring that foot in towards your butt the best you can. Feel your stretch. Breathe easy. Hold it there. Try to square off the hips because I know that left hip likes to pop up, especially because we're rotating through the chest a little bit. So try to keep that left hip down. Breathing easy. Keep drawing that foot in towards the glutes. Few more breaths. Good job. Find your drishti, your serene mind. And then let's slowly release and close again. So we're going to continue to move that leg back and forth. If this bothers your shoulder, you can change your grip and maybe draw a leg in this way, or bending the elbow back or up. Play around with how you bring that foot in. Good. And then let's hold it again. Draw it in, left hip down, rotate your chest back to the front, look forward, find your drishti, hug that foot in, maybe bringing it closer towards the elbow if possible. Keep pulling that left hip down, find your stretch. Exhale, let's slowly release. Release the foot down with control. Don't let it fall all the way. Turn your body back to center, and now this time go ahead and bring your elbows to the floor. Realign your hips. Take a moment to center your body. You can let your arms rest all the way down as you bring your forehead down. Maybe at this point you find that the bolster or the block is too much. You might want to move a little bit out of the way so you have space to come all the way down to the floor. We'll hold here for a few breaths. You can again practice your ujjayi breath. This is the resonating breath, the breath with sound. Slowly inhale. Press into the hands, come up onto the elbows, lengthen spine. Press into the hands again. Come up onto the hands, lift the chest and shoulders. Tuck that left toe under, one hand outside, one hand on the inside. This part always feels a little funky. Press into that left leg, slide the right leg back, and bring your weight back, coming easily into your downward facing dog. So your left hip might be going rah, 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 talking to you right now. It's all good. As long as there's no sharp pain, then you're fine. If you do feel sharp pain, just try not to go so deep next time. You can hold the same amount of time, just don't go so deep into it. Sway the hips, maybe bend and straighten, kind of see what feels good. And then again, just like before, we assess the left side versus the right side. Right now I feel very, very lopsided, and hopefully you do too. And then exhale, bring the knees down. Okay, moving to the other side. I'm gonna place the bolster on the left side as we bring the left hip to it. And then instead of having that knee or that foot up, you just relax it down, rotate your body, kind of make adjustments. Bring that left leg all the way back. Hands on the floor, lift up through your chest, roll your shoulders back. Try to find your kind of lifted pigeon here. And then just kind of follow your breath. Keep your focus, your drishti. And then we're going to go ahead and take that left hand to the inside of the knee. Remember, you can stay on your fingertips. Bring it to your fist so you can just press your knuckles into the floor, or bring your palm all the way down. You can also use a block there. If the floor is too far away, use a block, bring the floor up to you. And then we're going to reach around, bend into that right leg, draw that right leg close to the body, and then open and close through that right leg. Just open and close easy. Once we do this, we're being mindful of what parts in our bodies might be working more than they need to, and what parts of our body might not be engaging as much as they need to. So again, you're the seer, you're the observer, you're watching out for things. Try to keep that right hip down because it does love to pop up, especially mine on this side. It really likes to pop up. It makes it easier, I think, when the right hip pops up. So let's see if you can keep it down. And then with the exhale, hold that foot in towards the body. Might not be able to go very far, it's okay. Just pull it in, hold it there. Gaze forward, shoulders back, lift the rib cage, breathe easy. You want to hold just enough tension and put just enough effort into the holding of the foot in towards the body. It doesn't need to, you don't need to overdo it, but do keep reminding yourself to lower the right hip. And be mindful of that left arm as well, because it is working to keep you propped up. So try not to sink into that left shoulder. Keep the shoulder back, keep the chest lifted. A few more breaths.
And then exhale again, let's open and close. Remember, if it's starting to bother your shoulder, you can move the elbow up, change your grip on your hand, or you can move the elbow back as you hold the pinky toe side of your foot instead of the big toe side. So you decide how you want that arm to work for you. I kind of like it on the big toe side. It gives me an opening in my chest as well. You can do that. And then exhale, let's pull it in. Maybe try to slide the hand a little closer to the crease of the elbow. See what happens. If it's too much, just keep it. Just the hand there, no worries. These movements here take so much patience. See if you can find it within yourself to maintain. And then to watch your breathing and watch your thoughts. Observe. Few more breaths. And exhale. Slowly release the foot. Let it come down to the floor. Once it's there, release the hands on either side of that left knee. Recenter through your hip if you need to. And then start to make your way down. Elbows come down first. See what happens. You might need to adjust. Lengthen a little bit more. Maybe bring forehead to the floor. Once we've been here for a while, you might decide that the bolster or the block is a little too much. It's kind of keeping you from lowering a little further. So you might want to move it slightly out of the way so you can have room to come all the way down and lengthen through your spine. You can use your hands for a pillow, bring your head to your forearms, or just bring your forehead to the floor. Easy breathing. And inhale, slowly lift the head. Come onto your elbows, lifting the chest. Inhale, press up, come onto your hands. Again, lifting one more time, finding that length in body. And then tucking that toe under, straightening through that right leg and slide that left foot back. Yes, it feels funky and strange. Come to your downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs, move your weight. Forward and back, side to side, whatever feels good here. This is your chance to just stretch everything out. Let the head hang, shoulders soften. And then go ahead and come down to your knees. And we're gonna set up just how we started, bringing our practice to full circle. Bring your bolster back onto your mat. Lay down, we're gonna do our Shavasana from here. So let yourself lean back, open up. You can keep your feet on the floor, legs wide, or you can straighten your legs. And see if you do straighten your legs, let your feet come to the corners of your mat. So let your feet flop out to the side. Relax your shoulders, let the back of your head rest. Make any adjustments necessary. And then just let your arms relax by your sides, palms facing up. This time we close our eyes. So take a moment to go through your body from your toes, the tips of your toes and your toenails, all the way to the last strand of hair on your head. Just run and scan through your body, relaxing, softening every inch.
Just as before, we feel our weight supported by the earth below us. Easy inhale and gentle exhale. So a few more breaths here. Really calming the nervous system, calming your entire spine, calming your body, calming the thoughts in your mind, and regulating your breath with a steady pace. Equal parts inhale, equal parts exhale. And with the next breath, we're going to start to move the head around a little bit. Maybe just rock your head side to side. Start to move the fingers and the toes. Let's bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the sides in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you have nice open hips and open groin, you might be able to touch the floor with your knees on either side. If not, then it's going to feel a little bit heavy. If it feels too heavy, you can bring your hands underneath your thighs or your knees to kind of help support it. If you want to add a little extra weight other than just what gravity is doing, maybe you want to place your hands on the inside of the knees or inside of the thighs and let your arms add a little extra weight to your legs. The feet don't have to be all the way into the body. They could be somewhere out, just a little closest. The closer the feet are to the body, the harder it'll feel or the more intense it'll feel. And then the further they are, the less intense. So you can also play around with that distance. And then with the exhale breath, we're going to lift the chin, pull the shoulders back, and just take a moment here just to feel the engagement of the abdomen as you lift up. Maybe holding onto your knees, either on the outside or the front or tops of your knees. And then kind of curl yourself up just a little bit more, kind of pausing as you go. Inhale, maybe curl up a little bit more. Hold on to the shins if you can reach them. A little bit more until you come all the way up to an upright position. Once you're upright, hold on to your feet, lengthen through your spine, and then again, like gravity, pull your knees down, or you can use your elbows to help guide them down towards the earth as you slightly lean forward. If you're really bendy, really flexible here, go ahead and bring your body as far down as your body will allow. You can even bring your chin to the floor if possible. Try not to round through your spine, but keep your spine straight. Nice, Sandy, good adjustment. Hold one more breath. See if you can go any further into your stretch. And then inhale, come up, lengthen the legs. Stretch them out, lengthen them out, and come to a comfortable seated position. You can move your bolster out of the way. So these bolsters are really, really handy. We use them a lot today, and I'd like to use them more on the Tuesdays and Sunday classes. So if you do have access to one, make sure you grab one and use them for your practice. So as we come to a comfortable seated posture, soften shoulders. Let's bring the hands to prayer. Let's take a moment to follow the breath. When we practice slowly and with intention like we did today, a lot of different things can come up during our practice because we have time for them too. When we're working hard and sweating like we do during our Ashtanga practice, a little harder to focus the mind onto what it is that is going on. There's not much time to do that. So we're going to take this moment here at the end of our practice to kind of just seal everything that we've done. As we exhale, we release anything that doesn't serve us. We let it go. And now we'll inhale, drawing in the breath. And we'll prepare for the sound Om. May we feel protected and safe. May we feel contented and pleased. May our physical bodies support us with health and strength. And may our lives unfold smoothly with ease. Namaste.